Alright, so in this tutorial I'm gonna go over UV mapping this ray gun. And in this ray gun, the primary source of projection is going to be using cylindrical mapping. So I have to first make sure that I'm in the modeling menu and the UV right here, UV menu, sub menu. I'm gonna tear it off. I'm gonna need the UV editor. It's gonna put on the side for now. Okay. So this is what the default UV map comes with for each object. And then this shape is mainly a cylinder. So I'm gonna first dock this. Wait 1 second. Layout, 2 panes stacked. Then I'm gonna, come on. There you go. Alright. Perspective. I'll have this one in front. Alright, so I need to do a cylindrical mapping. So UV, right? Previously I've talked about the automatic mapping, and I talked a little bit about the cylindrical mapping, right? So I'm gonna select this. I'm going to UV map one specific portion at a time. So I do not recommend grabbing all the pieces and then doing automatic mapping or anything like that. For when things get complicated with multiple parts, you want to, especially when you're first learning, to map them separately. So I'm going to grab the main body. I'm going to do isolate select, which is control 1. Okay, so there's no history and there's no data in my transforms. I'm going to do the cylindrical. And when I do that, this is what it looks like. And the reason why it looks like this is because it's it needs to be rotated the right way. So this is the gizmos for it. Right now it's facing upward. It needs to be facing sideways. So is it this one? I'm looking in here, the channel box. polycylinder projection 1. Alright, so it's not that one. Is it? No, it's not that one. Is it this one? Okay, so as you can see, it has a half of a circumference. And it looks way different now. So this is where it'll be a good starting point. And before I go further, I need to put a tiling UV texture pattern. So I need to go to the hypershade, the one right here. And so I lost the gizmo, but I'm going to show how to bring it back. Alright, so in here, I'm going to press tab, and I'm going to type out AI standard surface. Select it, press F as in Frank, highlight it, type in UV map shader, and from here select it. I'm going to select the mesh. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to right click and hold while I'm hovering over the shader, right? Assign material to viewport selection. And then I'm going to open the attribute editor, and it's pretty bright and it's reflective, so I'm going to put the weight, the base weight, further down. Then I'm going to get the specular weight. Wait a minute. Oh, I gotta turn off the default material. Right, there you go. So I had it on just the default view material. So it did darken it. And the specular shine, I made it more matte. And then from here, for the base color, I'm going to click on the checker box, and I'm going to click on File, and I made this container and this repeating pattern node. Place 2D texture repeating pattern. In the file container, I'm going to click on the folder icon, and I put my image. You want to put the image in the texture pattern in the source images. UV texture pattern. Put in your source images. Open. I'm going to press 6, and there you have it. Okay. This file one, I'm going to copy this, Control C, Control V as in Victor, hit enter. And then after that, let's take a look. so far this looks good, right? Reason why, well, actually there's some stretching. These squares, these squares should look like squares. Right now they look like rectangles, but they're supposed to be proportioned to be the size of a square for each pattern. So with that selected, I'm going to go to my channel box because I need to let's pull up the gizmos. I'm going to select this, then I'm going to press T as in Tom, and that brings the gizmo back. And you could pull on the gizmo, see, you can pull on this, repeats this one. And this is close enough. So it's not a perfect square, but it's better than before. A little bit more. This one's stretching. We'll fix that later. I'll click outside. Alright, so then you have these things right here. These are probably the side facing faces. And the way to correct these faces, right? Press 5 for a gray shader. What I need to do is also go to face mode, and I'm going to select the face, and I'm going to select one face, and I'm going to hold shift and double click. I'm going to select here, but I'm going to hold shift and click. Over here I'm going to hold shift and double click. Then I'm going to hold shift and double click. Hold shift and double click. I'm going to hold shift and click. Hold shift and double click. Hold shift and double click. So these faces are actually these, but they look like just a line because their projection wasn't angled the right way. So this will make more sense when let's say I'm gonna also click here. I'm gonna hold shift. I'm just gonna manually click them while holding shift. Press 4. Alright. Now, what I need to do next is I need to do a different type of projection. UV. I need to do a planar. I need its option box. And I need to project it on the X, which is in red, because it's gonna go this way. So that'll be the red one, which is X. Make sure you have this checked on. Keep image width height ratio. Hit project. And as you can see, it projected it's supposed to be. I'm gonna grab this, I'm gonna move it out of the way. I'm gonna click outside. I'm gonna press 6 so you can see. Obviously over here it needs to be fixed. Press 5. And then I'm going to hit face mode. And click, hold shift, double click, hold shift, double click, hold shift, double click. And I'm going to carefully select these faces. That face. Actually, I'm going to select, hold shift and click. I'm going to hold shift and double click. Hold shift and double click. Hold shift and double click. Hold shift and click. Hold shift and double click. Hold shift and double click. Hold shift and double click. Click and click. I'm gonna hold shift and click. Hold shift and double click. Hold shift and double click. Same thing all around. Then these guys need to also be selected. Then I need to do a planar option box. On the X, this is X. Keep image width height ratio, hit apply. Carefully move it out of the way. Grab that arrow. Look outside. Press 6. Okay. So now I need to address, for example, this area where there's a lot of stretching. I'm gonna go to actually I'm gonna stop here, and then the next video I'm gonna deal with these stretching tiles here, here,